Long before humans ruled the earth, when our species was still learning how to survive, the land belonged to creatures far better adapted than we were. Welcome to the monsters we met. We're in the late Pleistocene, North America, Ice Age Earth. Roughly 20,000 years ago, near the end of the last great glacial period. It's a warmer stretch, not the peak of winter, not summer either. Ice is still present, but it's retreating. But this land is shared, and where animals gather in numbers, something else is always watching. Something large moves through the grass. This is one of the biggest cats to ever live in North America, the American lion. For hundreds of thousands of years, this animal sat near the top of the food chain. This isn't a modern lion. It's bigger, heavier. The American lion is believed to have evolved from an earlier cave lion population that moved south into North America. Over time, it adapted to open plains and very large prey. Some estimates put it among the largest cats to ever exist. Longer than today's lions, more heavily built. If you've watched earlier episodes, this lineage might sound familiar. Different land, same bloodline. Either way, this is not something you'd want to meet while taking your dog for a walk in the local park. So here's the strange part. The American lion is gone. But the idea of lions in North America keeps getting dragged back into the conversation. Not because someone wants lions in neighborhoods. Nobody serious is asking for that. It comes up in a specific place: rewilding. Rewilding, in simple terms, is the idea that ecosystems work differently when the biggest animals are present, especially the predators. You don't just lose a species, you lose the pressure it puts on everything else. Back in 2005, a group of scientists even floated something called Pleistocene rewilding. The idea was controversial, but the point was clear. North America lost a lot of its big animals at the end of the Ice Age. So in theory, you could try to restore some of the missing roles using close relatives. And yes, that list included lions. That proposal got pushback. Some scientists argued it was the wrong direction, and that conservation should focus on protecting and reconnecting the native wildlife we still have. But even when people disagree, the question keeps resurfacing. Could a top predator fix problems we keep failing to manage ourselves? And that takes us to one of the messiest wildlife arguments in the modern American West: wild horses. As of March 1st, 2025, the Bureau of Land Management estimates about 73,130 wild horses and burros roaming on BLM-managed lands. Their own appropriate management level, the number they aim for, is about 25,556. That's an estimated excess of roughly 47,574 animals. That's not a small imbalance. It affects grass, water, soil, and the other wildlife sharing the same range. And it creates a problem nobody can solve cleanly. Roundups are unpopular. Long-term holding is expensive. Fertility control helps, but it's slow and hard to scale. So every few years, someone throws a grenade into the room and says, "What if predators did the job?" And this is where the lion idea gets mentioned. Usually not as a serious plan, more like a thought experiment. But right now, there's another reason people even allow themselves to say the words out loud. Because the public has been watching the rise of de-extinction. A company called Colossal has claimed it brought back the direwolf. Their own material describes it as a return from a population of 0. But many scientists push back hard on the wording. The criticism is basically this: what you get is a modern animal with a handful of edits, not the original extinct species. So could the American lion ever be brought back? So how would you even bring something like that back? With the direwolf, the DNA didn't come from thin air. It came from places that hold on to the past. Places like this. Bison are spread across the plain, heads down, feeding. Most stay close to the herd. One doesn't. It drifts a little farther out. Better grass, less competition. The ground looks firm here, dark, flat. The first step is fine, the second isn't. The surface gives just enough for the animal to notice. It pulls back. The ground pulls harder. The bison struggles. Slow at first, then faster. Each movement sinks it deeper. Panic sets in. The calls start. That sound carries a long way. Out in the grass, something reacts. An American lion lifts its head, then another. They move in carefully, not running, watching. A trapped animal means food. But places like this don't make exceptions. A paw touches the surface. It holds. Then it doesn't. This ground doesn't care what you are, prey, predator. It keeps what comes too close. Places like this don't just trap animals, they preserve them. Over thousands of years, tar pits captured anything that came too close. Herbivores first, then predators drawn in by the noise. That's why, in the modern world, these sites are packed with fossils. Bones, teeth, sometimes so well preserved that even soft tissue traces remain. Tar pits lock out air and bacteria. Decay slows. Time stalls. This is how we know so much about Ice Age North America. American lions, dire wolves, giant ground sloths, mammoths, saber-toothed cats. Not from stories, from animals frozen mid-mistake. So, rewilding. Do we try to replace what was lost by bringing in lions from elsewhere? Or do we look further ahead, at the idea of rebuilding something closer to the true American lion through DNA? Either way, the question isn't, could we do it? It's what happens after. Because bringing back an apex predator doesn't just change the animal, it changes everything around it. And I'll admit it, as an animal lover, the idea is tempting. Seeing a lion back on North American plains would be incredible. From a distance. With a camera. From very far away. It would be spectacular. It would probably be great for wildlife tourism. It would also be a nightmare. Imagine going hiking and bumping into a pack of 800-pound lions. Personally, no thank you. I know some of us are used to grizzlies and other native predators, but lions are different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they would adapt. Maybe they wouldn't just see us as walking Big Macs. So maybe the question isn't whether we could bring something like this back. It's whether we understand what we'd really be inviting in. Because some animals don't fit into the modern world. Not because they failed, but because the world changed around them. And when I picture the American lion, I don't picture roads, fences, or warning signs. I picture this. This is where the American lion belongs. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Fantasy, stupid idea even if we could, or hey, why not give it a go? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're feeling generous. Next time, did we ever meet man-eating frogs?